Hey guys, it's D Moneyballa. Today I'm going to be showing you an upgrade that I'm doing to my personal desktop. I got a Ryzen 5 3600. It was on sale on Amazon for $175. It came out at $200, so I figured I might as well pick it up. I also got a new motherboard because it's different than my Intel chip that I'm currently running. It's an X570 board because it has PCIe Gen 4 support. And I figured that if I wanted to use that in the future, I might as well get it, and so I've done that. And I'm going to show you how to upgrade to a Ryzen 5 if that's what you want to do. The reason I went with a Ryzen 3600 is it has really great performance for the money. I feel like it will help me with my video editing, and it will also increase the frames per second I can push out of every game. I am going to use all the components I already have in my desktop, except I'm going to be swapping out the motherboard and the processor so we just have more power to do whatever we need to do. When building a computer, you want to avoid static, so you can take your power supply, plug it into the wall, touch yourself to ground yourself so that you don't short out your motherboard. And if you want to be extra cautious, I'm going to be extra cautious. You can use an anti-static wristband like this. You can put it on your wrist and attach it to your power supply, but that can kind of get in the way of when you're building a computer. You can also put your power supply on the ground and put it around your ankle, which I'm going to do. Kind of like a house arrest bracelet. And then you just clip it up here, clip it onto your power supply. You're grounded, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. Make sure you don't step on your cords, and then we are ready to continue to build. So now we're going to install our CPU on our motherboard. We're going to lift up this retention arm. Just make sure that's lifted up all the way. We're going to pull out our processor. There's a handy little triangle on the corner of the processor. You line that up with the triangle on your motherboard, and you just drop it in there. You don't have to force it down, and it should go all the way down, be level with it. You can check by eye, there shouldn't be a gap there, and you just put the arm down and our CPU is installed. So we're going to be removing these brackets and placing the stock cooler that this Ryzen 5 comes with to keep the CPU nice and cool. And the CPU cooler already has thermal paste applied. So let's just remove these, and then we'll get that we'll get the cooler mounted. Not done yet. Good. There we go, come right off. And then we are going to place our cooler. Don't lose your screws. We'll take the plastic piece off of it. Make sure to get it all lined up the way we want it. Our CPU fan header's up here, so we're going to place it with the cable going that way. Just line it up with these posts, and you place it on there. Attach your fan header. And then you screw down in a crisscross pattern. You don't want to screw anything down super tight in one place. You want to get everything pretty even. Okay, so we just go in a crisscross pattern here. Make sure that things are down tight. So now we're going to install our RAM. We're going to put it in the 2nd and 4th slot. Just make sure that you pull back the tab on the slots that you're going to do. These sides don't pull back. Make sure that your notch lines up with where you're trying to install your RAM. Then you just put it down there until you hear a click. And now that one's in place. Now we're going to place the other one. Come on, buddy. There we go. You just place it down until you click it in there. And those two, the tabs have come back. They are firmly and securely in place. So now we're going to install our NVMe hard drive on this computer. What we're going to do is we need to move this standoff so it lines up with where we're going to where we're going to screw our NVMe drive down. So we just unscrew this, screw it into the one right here that corresponds with the length of your NVMe drive. Oops. Just screw that down tight. Just finger tight, you don't want to be super tight with it. Then you're going to install your NVMe drive at a 45-degree angle into here. Then you push that down and you use the screw for your M.2 that came with your motherboard. You need a little tiny screwdriver for this guy. Tiny little screw. And that's the hard drive installed. So I've moved this power supply up here so we can test to make sure that everything's working. I've moved my static wristband to my wrist. We're just going to plug in the necessary power cables to make sure that we can power on our motherboard, our computer. So we plug that into here. Goes there. And we're going to need our CPU power. Is going to be here. That is not the CPU. This is the CPU. We're going to take you, we're going to bring you over here. And we connect you guys together. So we plug in our CPU power. And then we're going to put in our graphics cards that we have a display out. So we're going to pull back this tab on our graphics card slot. We're going to put that in there and make sure that she goes down into that. Nice and easy, Captain. I'm struggling to get that in there. Why can I not do it? There we go. She's in. We plug in our power for our graphics card. Then we just hook up our HDMI cable. Then we're just going to short these power switches with our screwdriver to see if it posts. Everything is spinning. That looks good. Let's check our monitor. Is that plugged in still? Do you have to hit power on it or anything? Not getting anything. Okay. HDMI's in. HDMI's in over there. Okay, sweet. And we did post. Cool. Yeah, we've got our CPU, our AMD processor, our 12 gigs of RAM, our Samsung SSD, and our graphics card. Everything looks good. Once you've verified that your computer will boot up, all you've got to do is put the I/O shield into your case and mount it with your hardware. and then you've got your computer built. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope that this works well as a content creation machine or a gaming build for whatever you want. Thank you.